hit somebody with a medical syringe. I can't believe I just did that. Oh my god. I've never done that before. Oh my god. Wow. I just ruined that guy's life. I can't begin to describe to you guys the amount of happiness I felt finally getting my first medical syringe gameplay on Battlefield 1. And it came at like the most crazy time because I was just about to revive my teammate. So when I went to revive my teammate, I inadvertently hit the guy, and I'm sitting here like, wow, I don't believe this just happened. It's like I was a little kid. My mind was blown. It was insane. Okay. So, what we have here is some For Honor Dominion gameplay. I was running solo in this one, and quite honestly, I did like 6-4 or something. I mean, I usually don't do good solo, and my next game will be evident of that. Most of the time I was playing this beta with my buddy Shadow, but I think he had taken a break or whatever, and then I tried to go solo myself, and I was like, this is painful. Anyway. So, but For Honor is not what I want to talk about. What I do really want to talk about is March Madness. Now, some of you may be wondering, Matt, the fuck is March Madness? Well, March Madness is the NCAA men's basketball tournament that happens every March. So, pretty much at the end of this month or early in April, we're gonna get a new national champion for the college basketball scene. And quite frankly, I don't pay attention to much. I quite frankly don't pay much attention to any college basketball at all, other than this. So I know nothing about anything going in, and quite frankly, I think it serves me pretty well. I actually made some brackets. This year I usually only make one bracket, but this year I made 3 because it was just I wanted to actually try and get the $1 billion or whatever it is for the perfect bracket. So the more options I thought I had, I think the better off I was gonna be. And like I said in my video with the YouTube money, you gotta get that money somehow. It doesn't matter how you do it. But I'm just messing around though. I actually am taking this quite seriously. Last year I think last year I was pretty close, and then I think Baylor or Butler fucked me over. So for a fact I won't pick Baylor to win this. Anyway, so I just wanted to talk to you guys about my March Madness brackets a little bit here. I made 3 brackets, all called Chopper Hunter. I had to, I'm sorry. My first Chopper Hunter bracket, what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is I'll just name my final 4, and then I'll name my champion. So my final 4 is for my first bracket is Nova, West Virginia, Kansas, and Kentucky, because I think that this would probably be the most realistic bracket. I think out of all the brackets I've made, 3 of them, this is probably the most realistic one I can think of, because I don't see any of these teams pulling off a huge upset, or at least the smaller seed teams, like anything above 10. I don't see many upsets happening, and I know people say, oh, you should put upsets in your bracket. Well, half these colleges, not half, but maybe a good portion of these colleges I don't know of. So I go with the ones I know of and the ones that have pretty decent seeds. So Nova, West Virginia, Kansas, Kentucky. Nova would be West Virginia, Kansas would be Kentucky, and then Nova and Kansas would be in the finals, and I have Kansas winning. Now I'm not going to tell you everything else because I don't want anybody copying off my fucking bracket. But that's my final 4. So, and I would name my tiebreaker of how many points in total were going to be in the game, but that's another thing I'm going to keep to myself. So that's, like I said, Chopper Hunter 1 is my most realistic bracket. out of any of them I made. Chopper Hunter 2, which is my kind of fantasy, realistic bracket. I have Nova. This I have all the number 1 seeds going into the Final Four. Nova against Gonzaga, Kansas against UNC, and I would have Gonzaga beating Nova, and I'd have USC beating Kansas. And when I do that, the national champion in that case, to me anyway, is going to be UNC, University of North Carolina. And the tiebreaker, of course, will stay secret. What else do I got? I got my final bracket, Chopper Hunter 3, goes as follows. I have UNC against Butler, and UNC would pick up the victory there. Oh no, actually that's my Sweet 16. Never mind. Oh, there's my Final Four. Okay, I'd have Baylor against Arizona, and then I have Oregon against UCLA. Now my brother, I think, picked UCLA to win. I can understand that happening. I really do. I think that's his pick. So, and in the championship, I'd have Baylor against UCLA, with UCLA winning the championship. Now, why the fuck am I telling you all this? Well, like I said, I'm a huge fan of March Madness. I've been watching it since I was a kid almost. So, this is, like I said, it's the one time of the year where I become enamored with anything related to college sports. Same thing with Capital. No, not Capital. Is it still Capital One Bowl Week? Same thing with Bowl Week with college football. I don't give a fuck about anything prior to the Bowl Week stuff. So I just watch and I enjoy. To me, it doesn't matter about the colleges at least to me, like, it doesn't matter about the colleges and all that shit. Jesus Christ, the lag in this fucking game is insane. Look at all the fucking rage quitters or whatever. And somehow I end up beating that guy with a spliver of health left. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And you know what? I'm happy I did do it. But either way, like I said, the game in this, the lag in this game is fucking insane. Just watching it back right now. But what was I gonna do? What was I gonna say though? Yeah. Oh, and another thing I want to say though, I firmly believe this from the bottom of my heart. I really do think college basketball is better than the actual NBA. I think the NBA is just absolute bullshit sometimes, especially when I watch a Knicks game and I see all the fucking calls that we don't get. It's absolutely fucking insane. It's mind-boggling. And then you have little bitches like LeBron and shit that are complaining to the referees like, oh, ref, he hit me and all that shit. He hit me when I was trying to shoot. All that bullshit. I mean, I'm sure they do that in college too, but I think college is a much more mature... Oh, well, mature is debatable, but I mean, college to me, when I watch it, it seems like the game is taken a lot more seriously than it is in the NBA. Like, I think that's also because they're not getting paid, so I think if they perform poorly, they're not going to be traded. They don't, I mean, what am I trying to say? If the people who play in college basketball perform relatively poorly, it's not going to be held against them so much as it is like in the big leagues, because you see all these pieces of crap like, you know, I don't know, Stephen A. Smith or whatever. He's like, once somebody like LeBron has a bad game, it's all like, oh, he's got to pick it up and shit. Oh, he's got to do better than this type of shit. But I mean, people are human, and I hate LeBron. And I will say this much: last year's NBA Finals was fucking fixed. That's another thing. I mean, for all I know, the NCAA championship is a lot more fixed, but who knows? But and at the same time, I honestly do believe that the last year's championship was fixed, because there's nothing. When you think of logic, and I thought about this logically, Golden State Warriors, who were the best team in the NBA at that time. And I'm no Golden State Warriors fan by any means. I'm a Knicks fan through and through, but I'm thinking about this as logically as I can. There's no reason as to why the best team in the league loses a 3-1 deficit. No, not deficit, but a 3-1 lead in the playoffs. No. It doesn't add up to me. It really does not add up to me. And all you LeBron fanboys are like, oh, LeBron's the best, he's a GOAT, he deserved that victory. Fuck no. Because none of it is logical to me. To me, and probably many others, none of that was logical. How all of a sudden, they magically come back and win the championship. It just doesn't make sense. And maybe it has something to do with me disliking LeBron, but whatever. All I can say is this. The NCAA championship tournament is light years better than the NBA playoffs and NBA finals. Because to me, I actually care about what goes on. Once a team I don't like gets into the finals or whatever, if the Knicks don't win, I don't give a fuck. NCAA championship, I give a shit because I actually am invested in all these teams. Or at least a good portion of them anyway. Anyway, that's my talk about March Madness. Hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay, and I'll see you guys on the next one.